Hey guys, I'm back with this.
But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Cool.
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense.
That's cool.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Okay.
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Hmm?
Oh, that's cool.
Am I gonna have to shoot anything?
It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Oh, that's cool. I was just going through the store with pictures.
Okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Whoa.
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing, though.
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
It's a birdie.
Aw.
What am I supposed to take a picture of?
Nothing quite like being outside.
Hold still.
Hey!
That's a keeper.
I'm just saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff, if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Dawn, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Where my dad?
Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map.
That came fast.
You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo. spin.
What should I take a picture of? The heck? Taking a lot of pictures. What am I supposed to do? What's a bird? There it is.
Dad!
Good eyes, Dawn. Before you take the shot, let me get a picture of you.
Dad, I...
Just breathe. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Dawn, you don't... Great shot, Dawn!
Yeah, that's a good shot.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Oh, that's weird.
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so-
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
That's why you make sure that yours dead.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh, that's actually a cool picture. Whoa, this is cool.
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Whoa. That's a cool gun. Am I supposed to go somewhere from here? Well, there. Oh, it's like inside of the walls. Whoa.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Whoa. A baby? I'm kind of scared for this one. It's a baby. Aww.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like Something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Oh, I'm scared. That froggy!
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Look at my baby feet. Whoa.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie.
Oh, this is so cool.
Hello?
Look at that whale.
Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now.
I wonder what he saw.
Oh, I'm the frog.
What his world was like.
That's cool. Duckos. Come here. Look at this cute little baby. Ducko, ducko,
He reminded me
ducko,
so
ducko.
much of Captain.
Whoa.
Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was, he saw. It sure made him happy.
Yeah, the whale. Yarg. Oh, bubbles.
I know how silly it sounds.
Yarg.
But I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
I'm scared.
Damn it. Hold on, I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Oh, there's a firefight. I'm still the frog. Oh, I'm probably gonna have to turn back on the water.
I wish he could have told us about the world he saw.
I like to swim off the water. It's getting a little too high. Oh
There's
God.
so much I don't understand. About Gregory.
What the?
About everything. But I know what happened wasn't your fault. I'm sure he's happy.
Oh no.
And he'd
Maybe
want
if I
me
drown.
happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Yeah, I think the baby drowned. Aww.
I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not
Yes.
very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Oh, this is cool. Oh, I see what we're supposed to just connect.
My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
learned.
pronounce you husband and wife. Make him cry.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined, and as a sign held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent.
This is a little brat child. Oh no.
The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made.
Oh god, it's a tornado.
The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Oh god. That's cool. Whoa. I seen somebody.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the
Whoa.
beach alone. Just you, the wind, the sea, and foam.
Whoa.
But I didn't. Until we found you.
Whoa.
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Whew.
My mom moved up to the loft after her
Timing
brothers
wall.
died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get.
Whoa. That's just actually kind of a cool bunk bed.
She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Just think that's my mom and my dad. Or else it's
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Religion was another
yeah.
thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. Lewis was born a year later. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. But it didn't last. beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Oh, right here. This is actually really cool.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Oh, I get how this works. How do I... No, come on. Whoa. No, come on. Oh, come on. Whoa. Whoa.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. Mom
So,
definitely blamed
This
Edie,
might
but
be the final episode,
I think
but I don't
Lewis
know.
blamed himself. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery. Everyone always told me to stay out of
Oh,
Lewis's
that's
room.
trippy.
Except Lewis.
Okay.
Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Drugs.
Lewis and I spent a
Video
lot of
game.
time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Huh.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life.
Haha. No, I wanted to play a game.
He kept working at the
I
cannery.
get it. Haha. If I ever get like a job at this type of place, this is all I'm gonna do. You can't get it.
But he withdrew part of himself.
Yeah.
In our sessions, I
No.
saw the same behavior.
No, try that. Ah, come on.
His mind began to wander.
The heck? Oh.
I asked him to describe it.
Oh, he's one of these people.
He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
Minigame.
Bats. And toads.
I think I'm supposed to go this way.
And
Oh, they did
things that
shotgun.
have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Whoa.
But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Whoa, now
I worried about him then,
I'm probably end up cutting off my
daydreaming
head.
at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused.
Yeah, focus. You can't get me. Yeah, I'm focused.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him.
Oh, it's taking over more of the
It
screen.
seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
It's a doggo.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis-topia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick.
Whoa.
Then he
this is
made
cool.
musicians. And songs for them to play. He talked
Let's go,
about
doggo.
starting a band.
Yeah, let's go, doggo.
And he was always humming something. Every day his imagination grew stronger.
I'm gonna end up getting way too distracted and I'm gonna get like my hand cut off or something.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. that his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination.
He just realized that?
So he could do whatever he wished.
How do you get through this? Oh, this way.
He held an election for mayor. And he won.
Mario reference, probably.
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality.
Come on.
Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Louis kept sailing on.
Oh. Oh, that's not good.
In Louisburg, he heard rumors of a handsome
Okay, so-
queen. The queen was on her own quest for
This way.
sinister serpents.
Doing.
He followed the sound of her silver harp.
Yeah, my mom will
His
realize
chase
it's
led
just
him
good
to a
if I
golden
do this.
palace east of
Aha.
the sun and west of the
Aha.
moon.
Aha. Aha.
Even then, his logic remained sound.
Oh no. I can't even see it.
He
You
knew
guys
the
know it's
world
gonna
was
end out.
all in his imagination.
Whoa,
But he
that's
was so
pretty cool.
proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Louis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Oh, he thinks this is the real him.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Whoa. That's a lot of blood. The weed one.
He began to forget the world we know. I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Oh, it's just him.
I still thought I could save him. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Wow, this is trippy. I kill you all. You too. Especially you.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
It's a cat. Molly? Oh, remember that little girl that turned into a cat? There is so much references of that.
His queen waited, holding his crown.
That's nice to see. Nice guillotine.
There was only one thing left to do.
Kill himself.
Bend down his head.
Oh, he does this real life.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
Holy crap.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Teddy bear.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Oh no.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma,
No.
you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right.
What?
We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
No.
the power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Or that Edie had a key to it.
you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight.
No.
We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground. There'd been an
Edith.
earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I got turned around. For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things. Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you doing in here?
It's mine.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go! I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
No.
I never saw Great-Grandma Edie again.
No, Grandma.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. We both tried to make the best of it. A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it, but she started getting sick a lot. The rest happened pretty quickly.
No.
She got better for a while, and then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. This journal was supposed to be for you.
Oh, I'm the kid.
But now I hope you'll never see it.
Me.
I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Edith. Yeah, I'm her kid. Whoa. Whoa. Are these real pictures? Huh? This was a short game, but it's a good game. Aw. Oh, it's so cool. It'd be cool if that frog jumped. Whoa. Whoa. Owl, bunny, rat, duck, and cat. Aw. I like how she has the little shotgun. These are cool. Whoa. Oh, you're welcome for playing. So I think these are people who made it. Oh, it's a cool picture just showing like the family on the side. Like some of the family. Well, guys, it's like, so guys, this is an video, so like and subscribe and share, and goodbye.